Those are very difficult questions because you always see other people further along on their journey, and then you don't see how far you've come. It's always the next thing. But I think scripture even tells us to be content wherever you are, and that's the difference. So, okay, where I've started from.
99 FM, this is your inspiration station, Script in the Morning, and it's time now for our game changer of the day. Elzita holds a bachelor's degree in journalism and media from Rhodes University, plus a postgraduate diploma in international cooperation and development from the United Nations University in Tokyo, Japan. And someone that dreams basically that inspire her to wake up every single morning. And that is the stuff that makes up a game changer. And that's why she's here today, because we're celebrating our game changer. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome Elzita Beukes to 99 FM.
Welcome.
Yeah,
thank you. I was waiting for my welcome. It's been a while. I don't even know that bio. I've since gotten a master's degree though in marketing.
Add to it. How does it feel like just hearing back like everything?
It was a surprise hearing that. Because remember I said I didn't read any of the questions. I don't know what to expect today. So it's a bit weird. I think a lot, it's been a few years, so I think a lot has changed. I think my purpose statement, I'm more focused on women now, also inspiring young women, coaching and helping women achieve their goals. So I think that's a big element. I think that my focus has changed a bit. And obviously, since had another baby and also gotten a master's degree. So been busy. Let's
get to the root of it. Just tell us a little more. I know you briefly just did, but just tell us a bit about yourself and how you got where you are today.
Those are very difficult questions because you always see other people further along on their journey, and then you don't see how far you've come. It's always the next thing. But I think scripture even tells us to be content wherever you are, and that's the difference. So, okay, where I've started from. I was born in South Africa, Cape Town, and I grew up here, went to school here. Delta alumni.
Okay.
Yes.
Represent.
Way back. Yes. So, and then studied in South Africa and then Tokyo, and then did my master's long distance. So, did not plan on being in PR or communications, but it's been a happy coincidence actually. I actually studied journalism, which is it's a cutthroat industry, I'm sure you know, of all people. It's difficult, and I feel like if you don't have the passion for it, you're not going to be very good at it. So I don't think I love the media, but I don't think I had that hunger that I see in a lot of journalists. So I'm happy to be in a space that I still work with the media and I still interact with journalism and journalists. So it's a cool space to be, actually. So, and you get to write in PR, you get to write, you get to speak, you get to meet a lot of people, you get to interact with the media. So it's a healthy combination of all the things that I enjoy.
How do you, I always wonder, people that are in this field, how do you, or what are some of the ways that you keep yourself updated? Because it's forever changing, especially at the rate where we are now with the pandemic hitting and everybody having to go online, and we all have to kind of become mini Steve Jobs in some ways.
Yes.
How are you keeping yourself updating with the ever evolving industry? So
we were chatting off air a little bit, I think even the old skills that you've learned in the past, I studied, I specialized in videography, which I didn't really enjoy. But now with all these online conferences and online events that we have to, it's coming in really handy. So I think never despise any learning that you have. What was the question? Sorry.
The ever evolve, how are you keeping up with the times?
So I like to read. So reading a lot of books, and I like biographies. So reading people's biographies that are actually in this industry or had to manage media crises, and even I've recently read a book by the president, by President Truman, who had to navigate a very difficult political suite. So it's nice to see how people see crisis, how they navigate crisis. But a good easy way, I think, to keep yourself up to date with skills is podcasts, and I enjoy that while I'm driving or while I'm cooking. I guess it's because I've always been a talkative person, and that's why I'm in this industry. And it's nice to have podcasts, because if I'm not talking, someone is talking.
There's always a conversation.
There's always someone talking, and that's nice. So I really enjoy that, and I know a lot of people can't focus on listening to stuff. So for that, I also quite like Clubhouse, because there you get a lot of cool experts, people coming up, young people, especially young people who have really fresh ideas and even new perspectives on the same things that you've been doing. And that's that's been a nice place to learn for me as well. Yeah. And then always networking with people, chatting with people, letting them share their experiences like what we did off air. That also helps you kind of keep the act sharp.
Yeah, just being open to learning.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to take a quick musical break, and when we come back, we'll have a conversation on just the youth, the young people, and just advice that you have for not just young people in general, but more specifically young women that want to follow in your footsteps. So we're going to cross that bridge in a moment. For now, it is Kendrick Lamar and SZA with All of the Stars. We're having a conversation with our game changer of the day, Elzita Beukes. 99 FM, this is your inspiration station. We're having a conversation on Script in the Morning with Elzita Beukes, our game changer of the day, and we're just picking her brain, trying to, find out what makes Elzita who she is today in her game-changing capacity. And I'll keep saying game-changing, and Elzita seems surprised looking back at her bio, but that's everything that she's done and more to come. Elzita, you briefly spoke on your passions and how you've rediverted, and the focus now is not just on young people, but more specifically young women, and navigating the spaces that you've navigated. Let's get into it. What are some of the challenges that you personally have gone through that you can look back now and say there are young people that are going to go through these challenges, and this is the advice I would have?
So I think the biggest one is a lot of people, I guess we can start in high school. A lot of people don't know where to go from high school, but I think a lot of the times the thing you get criticized for being too much, I think for me it was always you talk too much, you're too loud. That is actually a very good indicator of what you're good at. Do you know what I mean? And wherever there's love, there's passion. So if you love talking and meeting with people, look out for careers that actually where you can be yourself. You know? If you like to be by yourself or you're very studious, then check out some careers in that. But also if you don't want to study, I think so often we think intellect or talent has got to do with being academic or studious, but there are other skills, and I think more so today, that has nothing to do with being good at school. Some people are very creative like you are, you're in music, some people have talents, and I think it's good to explore those kind of things also, and to be okay with if you're not academic, because you have other skills too that society doesn't necessarily honor or celebrate as much as academic skills. So that's one. If after university, I think a lot of people struggle to get work, and I've heard young people say they want experience, but how will I get an experience without getting experience? Exactly. And there, the answer, I think, is often volunteering. I don't think we have a big volunteer culture in this country. And that I did. And that really set me apart and really gave me a leg up when I started looking for work or thinking about my career path. So it's a good place to get experience. Yes, you won't get paid, and maybe not everyone has the privilege of living in a home and parents to support you and so on. But if you can, while you're still at school or studying, it's a good place to get experience and also to kind of define yourself, what you like, what you don't like, and so on. And it gives you a head start. So don't just do that mandatory in-service whatever. Go beyond that, and try different things. Explore, even if it's for like a month or two, or smaller jobs and stuff. So that's also good, I think, is something we don't consider. I think in the workspace, some challenges. I think a lot of the times I've been the youngest in every organization where I've been, often the only woman and the only person of color. And those are barriers that luckily today you're not the only person that goes through. So seek out other women that have gone through that. And whenever there's opportunities like women's talks or conferences, go to those and hear from other women who have paved the way for us. Hear what worked for them. Should you always be fighting? I find the young people today are so inspiring. We used to just be quiet and kind of fight our own battles, but now the young people are very vocal and they're very, and it's good. That's very good. It's good for you, like standing up for yourself, But I think we should also learn to fight our battles, to choose when is it, because you also don't want to, even if you are angry with what's happening and you feel discrimination against you, you should also kind of be clever about these things, you know, and look for help and support in other women in your organization. Luckily, I work for a place with that I don't experience that. So, but we do have regular women's session, and we do talk about challenges, whether it's balancing work life, whether it's been COVID, and that can be very refreshing, and that can really help you, like, just knowing you're not alone, you know. So really connect and reach out to other women, whether older or people on your same level or same experience that are going through the same thing, even if it's just the support that really encourages you. Yeah,
100%. I think that's pretty sound advice. Not, and I think that's young people in general, but like you said, pertaining to your journey, it's beautiful. And I think it's time now for some quick fire questions.
Oh.
So first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Nothing intrusive.
Okay.
All
Please
right?
no. Give it to me.
If you could, would you rather go back 100 years into the past or 100 years into the future?
Past.
The past. Soak up all the info.
I'm a big history person.
Yeah?
And I've always thought, what would I do if in those situations? Or where would I be? Like, you know, And obviously, if I knew some sports outcomes, I would definitely bet.
What's your go-to sports?
Soccer, football.
Oh, yeah. What team do you support?
Arsenal.
All right, so we're gonna have another conversation on that another day. The other question is, if you could be stuck in an elevator with someone for 15 minutes just to soak up information, who would it be? Dead or alive?
Dead or alive. Oof. 15 minutes.
You got, let's say, 30 minutes to just soak up information.
That's a hard one. I'll be cliche and say Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, we all know he's put it down in books and all of that, but I would like to know how you can live a life that he did, be in prison and still be so forgiving and so gracious. I think that's still a lesson we all have to learn in our daily lives. So definitely him. Yeah. And I'll put a weird one in there. I weirdly admire Queen Victoria. Okay. So I would like to know how she managed to, be a colonizer, have 11 children, submit to a husband, even though you were the most powerful person in the world. Yeah. So that's a weird one.
So those are the two elevators, one going up, one going down.
Yeah. She's on the down one.
And finally, last question. If you could listen to one song and one song only for the rest of your life, this is the only song they could play. I know you asked me not to ask you any song questions or any requests, but if you could listen to one song for the rest of your life, what song would it be?
That's a difficult one because I like music.
One artist.
One artist. Oof. It depends. It depends where you are in your life. George Benson.
George Benson.
Okay. I could probably listen to
forever.
And Phil Collins, because he's got like good upbeat and good downbeat. And if it was like more contemporary, I guess Bruno Mars, because he's very you never know what you're gonna get with him.
He covers all the genres,
right?
Almost,
Yes, and he's fun, but he can be sad. You know what I mean? So and playful at the same time. So definitely one of those.
100%. It's good to get the inside as well, not just the business side, but the personal side, and to see that you know. As much as you take, with all the seriousness that you take life, you also kind of have to balance and have fun with it. Yeah. Elzita, thank you so much for joining me on 99 FM.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you. You are a game changer of the day.
Okay. Thanks.
We're about to get into the program. Craig David up next with What's Your Flavor on 99 FM.